Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. And in today's video we will be talking about what it looks like to have your moon sign in Cancer. So this has been hugely requested by many of you. I have put out a poll and nearly everyone has voted on the moon signs, and so we are here to discuss these moon signs. Now in this video we will not get deep into the nakshatras. Those will be covered in future videos, but we will briefly touch them throughout this video. This will be mostly focused on how is the moon functioning simply within the sign of Cancer. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. So before we talk about what the moon looks like in the sign of Cancer, we have to understand what does the moon represent in Vedic astrology. The moon is representing the mind. So this is connected to our intuition, our creativity, our imagination. The moon is representing the psyche. And along with that, the moon is one of the most reliable indicators of the personality, as it is constantly changing and fluctuating, creating our patterns and behaviors throughout life. And so this is one of the most reliable tools to look at for the personality. Unlike the sun sign that is lasting for 30 days, the moon is changing every 2 to 3 days, which is giving different personalities within the same sun sign. The moon sign is also connected to the mother. The moon is the ruler of Cancer, which is our original fourth house in the natural zodiac. And so this is all about our comfort, our security, our nourishment. The moon shows where our comfort zone is, what is giving us the most emotional fulfillment and satisfaction within our lives. The moon is also showing changes and fluctuations within the chart. Wherever the moon is positioned, there are going to be changes happening within that area of life. The moon is all about our emotional security and our material security. This is showing the patterns and cycles of our life, similar to how we can see animals or people behaving differently within different cycles of the moon. The moon is what is shifting and changing our thoughts and feelings. And so this is strongly connected to the way that we are thinking, the way that we are feeling, how we are receiving and understanding everything within life, and our reactions. So what happens when the moon comes into Cancer? Well, we have to understand that the moon has certain relationships with other planets. Now, in this case, we get an understanding that the moon is ruling over Cancer, so it is at home in this position. This is where the moon feels most comfortable. And so here with the moon in Cancer, we are getting a double effect as the moon is within its own sign here. So those elements of comfort, of nourishment, are very strong here within the sign of Cancer, where Cancer is the sign of the mother. It is all about the nourishment, the protection, the security. It is where we are getting our comfort and satisfaction from within life. And so here when the moon comes into Cancer, first of all, this gives a very emotional nature, as those who are falling within this sign of Cancer here are incredibly emotional and receptive individuals. They are also very expressive, as this is a very reactive energy here as the moon is coming into Cancer. So these are people who are able to easily express their feelings, who are able to connect on an emotional level, and who are very much home and family oriented. These are people who are very protective, who are very much about caring and watching over their loved ones. These are people who are strongly connected to family and tradition, with this being here within Cancer, the sign of the home and the family. These are people who are also going through various changes within their lives. When we talk about the moon, we talk about the changes, the fluctuations, the patterns. And so these are people who are constantly moving and adapting to various different situations in life. There's a moodiness here within this position, as these people are going through various different emotional changes within their lives. This is all about the nourishment, the security. And so here, these people are very luxurious as well. These are people who want a very comfortable and stable life. Now, it's also important to understand that there are different criteria to look at in the chart. Because the moon is in its own sign of Cancer, you cannot judge from the moon itself. You have to look at any other planets that are aspecting or that are involved with the moon in this case. As the moon is a very neutral and fluctuating planet, any other planet that is involved will have a huge impact on the way that this moon will behave. We also have to keep in mind that with this position, what house is the moon in? Along with that, we have to understand that there are 3 nakshatras that are falling within the sign of Cancer. Each of these will behave differently. And so we already discussed within our previous video the first nakshatra that is falling within the sign of Cancer, and this is Punarvasu. This nakshatra is controlled by Jupiter, and it is represented by a magical bow and quiver that returns after being shot. And so those who are born within this first nakshatra are incredibly lucky and fortunate individuals. These are people who, even if they are failing multiple times, every time that they try again, it gets better and better. These are people who also tend to go through repeating lessons and patterns within their lives. There is a strong emotional nature that is attached to this nakshatra, where those who are born under this nakshatra are incredibly receptive and empathetic towards others. Those who are born within the second nakshatra that falls within the sign of Cancer are born within Pushya. And so when the moon comes into Pushya, this especially gives very strong motherly qualities. These are individuals who are extremely protective and caring towards their loved ones. They also have very strong ethics and morals. These are people who believe in doing what is right and believe in kindness. They cannot stomach any kind of injustice within life. Those who are born within the last nakshatra of Cancer are born under Ashlesha. And so when the moon comes into Ashlesha, this is a very tricky position. Here, Ashlesha is controlled by Mercury, the trickster, the one that is always changing and adapting. And this gives a very sinister vibe to this nakshatra of Ashlesha. Those who are born under this nakshatra have incredible power, especially on the mental plane. These are people who are incredibly intuitive and intellectual and need to channelize this ability into something that is positive. They have this ability to easily manipulate and take advantage of others with their intuitive and intellectual powers. So this has been my interpretation of what it looks like to have your moon sign within Cancer. I hope you all enjoyed this. If you liked this video, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button along with the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any new content. For those of you who have any additional questions, anything that you'd like to add, or if you have something that you'd like me to cover as far as Vedic astrology goes, let me know down below in the comments and I will get back to you. I want to thank you all so much for joining. I hope you all have a great day and I will see you in the next video.